Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out my tanks. I'm using EVOD style tanks. Depending on what your type of tank is, kind of will determine how you do this. Okay, I use water, so I just do it in the sink. So you don't use really hot water, cool water in there. But unscrew bottom cap. Okay, now if there's any liquid in there, go ahead and just dump it out. Release it. So the first thing I do is just kind of flush it out. And the reason I kind of like this is kind of cool. It's because the center post is low in there. And you can see the tip of it right there. So it automatically just kind of floods out. Put your finger on the bottom, put the thumb on top, and just shake it around. I do that a few times. Give it a sniff. Sometimes you can smell whatever flavor you had in there. So just do it a few more times. There we go. Just kind of set that off to the side. Now you take your atomizer off, which sometimes can be difficult if your hands are nice and wet. A lot of times I'm doing this, I'll actually use a pair of pliers. So I'll just remove that. And I just wash this off, just because there's going to be juice on there. So it doesn't need to be, you don't like to scrub it or not, I just use my fingers, get my pinky in there and rub it around in there. Now this is a little more complex. It's right here, these little white things. These are your wicks. And so that's what takes juice into the actual atomizer head. So make sure to get those in the water. And I rub around with my fingers a little bit. And I stick it on an angle. And get water so it comes through and actually gets to the actual coil in there. Now if you actually see the water scooping out the bottom here. It's squirting out. And I just let that do that for a little bit. Flip it over sometimes, go the other way. Then I'll blow it out and sniff. I don't smell anything. So it's pretty much completely clean. Now what I like to do to help with the drying, just take a piece of Kleenex and put that in there and roll it up. It doesn't. I don't leave it in here. I just do that just to get that water started going. And just let these air dry for a day or so. I'm gonna do this one also real quick. Now this one actually has some more juice in it. So, and it's supposed to look like that. It's a chocolate. So. See this one, you can tell the brown when it comes out. But I do this every single time I change the flavor, just so you don't get crossover. Exactly, see how it's dark? You can't see the brown coming out of it. Now I've seen somewhere that some people use rubbing alcohol. I don't. Just because I pay a lot more for rubbing alcohol than I would use this regular tap water. Yeah, cheap, so. And again, the only reason I do this is just to get kind of like a jump start on drying up those wicks and stuff. So there you go. Alright, now that our tanks are all nice and clean and dry, real quick, a little hint, if you want to make them dry a little faster, just, you know, lay them down like that and stick them in front of like a fan or something, just get some air circulating around. Anyway, now it's time to refill them. Now, I'm going to be using, and one of them, Apple, from 21st Century Smoke, their Vaping Plus line, and another one I'll show you in a minute. Now, a little tip for me, because I got multiple tanks and juice, I keep a little list. I just put it in my kit, so let me put purple. Okay, so what you're going to do is first off, give your juice a shake and open it. There's all sorts of little things about, you know, aerating it and all that. I don't bother with that. Assemble your atomizer with your bottom cap. You just stick it in the hole and screw it in so it's nice and flush. I'm going to go ahead and do both right now. Just save me a little time for later. Okay. So, you've got in here, you've got this center pole right here. Okay? That's not where you want your juice to go. Right there. Okay? You want your juice on the outside of that. Which is why I like a lot of bottles. Some bottles come with these nice little tips like this. It makes life so much easier. Okay? So what you're going to do is just stick it in there like so. And start squirting. You're going to kind of look, I mean, depending on your type of tank, I've got the little windows right here. But that's what you're going to be looking for. You do not want to go above that tank, or that center post line. Okay? Hopefully you can see that. It's like a delayed response. I can't see where it's at, but right there. Okay, here. Put that right on top. So wherever the yellow's at, that's where you want to stop. Of course, it's going to be a little different on your tank. But so you just fill it up. Just below that line. Put your bottom cap on. Make sure it's nice and tight. And you're done. Now, I like to let it sit for a little bit. Just let the wicks gather up the juice. Now on this one, this is a silver one, I'm actually going to be mixing juice. I'm going to put a little strawberry with a little vanilla. Again, both from 21st Century Smoke Vaping Plus line. So, again, uncap your juice. And I'm going to show you a little difference on this one just because I am mixing. So I'm going to squirt in just a little more than I wanted, but I will. And I'm going to use the other one. Put the rest of the way up. Now when you mix juices like this is a neat, nice little tip. Once you get your cap back on, kind of move it around a little bit. Just to help those juices mix together. Yeah, just get them nice and mixed up. And recap your juices. Now, I like to do this over paper towel, just in case I drip anything. You know, it stays nice and clean. So let's give these a little tasty taste real quick, just for fun. Well, hold on, let me write this down real quick. I'm gonna put straw, vanilla. Makes sense to me. So I'm gonna do the apple first. And sometimes it's gonna take, especially when you clean the tank, it's going to take a couple of drags to kind of get the flavor really going. So I don't want to taste anything. There we go. And it's just because the wicks need to get it in there and get it up to the coil. There you go. So. Yep. So that one's fine. And let me try this one. Not too bad. It's got a little strawberry vanilla kind of flavor going on to it. Not very strong, but you know. So there you go. That's how to refill your EVOD tanks. Pretty much any bottom coil tank is going to fill that way. Also, don't be afraid to mix flavors together. I mean, that's why I like to have things like a strawberry, an apple, and then have like there's a cool menthol, you know, cigar. You know, you can mix your own flavors together. I mean, like in this one, I've got a cherry flavor with a tobacco flavor. It's got a nice little tobacco sweetness to it, you know. So, you know, don't be afraid to mix your flavors together. Have some fun.